What's your name?
Tony Overstreet Senior.
Tony Overstreet Senior. I'm doing a couple of interviews on some people today concerning people that have been killed by law enforcement. In your situation, I understand it was not law enforcement, but you do have something to say about the way it was handled, your case dealing with your son, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so short form, what city are we in?
We in Douglas.
Okay, but it happened in...
But my case happened in Alma, Georgia.
What date was it did it happen?
It was Father's Day weekend. 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay, what would you like to tell, say, Black Lives Matter or the major news media across the country, since everybody's focusing on the judicial system and law enforcement, how they are not giving black fair treatment? What would you say to America? We're going to be brief in this.
I would say this in my case. The authority left my son laying out there all night, and he bled to death. They didn't look for him.
Okay, first of all, what happened to your son?
Well, my son got robbed.
Okay.
By some individuals.
4 black folk, right?
4 black folk. And the police were called on the scene. And they got the car with blood in it, but they never looked for no one, not even my son. They just got the car and left.
Okay.
And they just left my son out there all night. He bled to death. And I found him the next morning.
Okay, now did they have dogs?
If they did have dogs, they didn't bring them out there.
Okay. And so, to make a long story short, explain who found your son, and why didn't they find him that night?
Well, I found my son the next moment. The authorities in Bacon County, Officer Andre, he the chief of police now in Alma, I guess, because he helped cover it up.
Okay.
And they got rid of one officer because he wasn't trying to cover it up.
In other words, he was trying to do what was right.
He was doing what the law required to do.
Okay.
But make a long story short, they left my son out there and he bled to death. I looked for him and I found him. Nobody looked for him but me and my family. The police did not look for my son. And so at the time I was a member of the NWCP. And they did not step up to the plate. They did not step up to the plate neither. Now, my thing of it is just here. Why did I have to find my son? And he was dead.
How far away was it? Was he found from the incident where he was killed?
He wasn't 50 feet.
So the police didn't even look 50 feet.
If they'd have looked, they'd have found him. They did not look. And I argued this over and over and over and over. But when one man arguing, don't nobody want to listen to one man. Okay, they had individuals in jail. Judge Brooks let them go.
Judge Brooks. I have heard more negative stuff about Judge Brooks in several other cases.
Judge Brooks feel like he is above the law.
Okay.
He feel like what he say goes. The individual they had locked up, he admitted he was there. He did not want to take a plea. Judge Brooks made him take a plea. Judge Brooks let his family go back there and talk to him when we supposed to have been picking a jury. And I begged Judge Brooks to let a jury decide. And he would not do it. The prosecutor, they don't care. Only thing they care about is dope.
Is who?
Is dope.
Dope.
That's all they care about.
Now, when you say dope, what do you mean?
I mean drugs. They don't care nothing about nothing but drugs.
I mean, they want drug people that's selling drugs, you mean?
That's all they want.
They want the people that's selling drugs.
They just want people who selling drugs.
Okay.
That my son laid out there and he bled to death. And I had to find my son.
Okay, now, from what I heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that, what that guy named G.B.R. Hill, I think he's some kind of judge or something, or district DA, and Judge Brooks' name will come up too, and somebody is talking about investigating all the cases that have come before them. So would you agree that your case may need to be investigated again?
My case need to be looked at real good, and my case need to be reopened. The boy in jail right now, but he's not in jail for my son murder. They had witness that they did not subpoena to come to court. When you subpoena to come to court and you don't show up, the judge supposed to issue a bench warrant for your arrest. Judge Brooks did looked over all of that.
None of that was done.
None of it was done. None of it was done.
Okay, now, Mr. Overstreet, let me ask you another question. Everything that happened to the reason I'm up here today because in the black community, the traditional news media don't report news in the black community. So my question to you is, did you get any news coverage that fairly explained what had happened in your case?
No, I didn't. I mean, you know, when I called you once before,
Yes.
we went to the newspaper place.
Yes.
They didn't never report nothing. We went to the courthouse. They wouldn't even give me the transcript papers. They kept telling me lies about they don't have them, such having the Waycross. This the courthouse it was in. Why the papers not there?
Now what county is this?
That's Bacon County.
Bacon County. So you never got the information?
I never got the information from that day to this one.
Did you ever get an attorney?
I had an attorney. I had Julius as attorney. Julius sold me out.
He's a black man, right?
He's a black man.
The black attorney. He sold you out.
They bought him out.
Okay.
They bought him out. And he didn't have the audacity to even tell me. He should have, any lawyer take a case, they know by listening to the information they get whether the case was taken or not. He took the case, he sold me out.
Okay.
That's just all it is to it. And my son death, I had said before in one interview before, there's no limit I would go to get justice for my son.
Do you mind me using the video that we recorded years ago? Do you have any problem with me maybe fitting some of those clips into this video to let the people know across America that it's not just George Floyd or Castillo or Avery or Mr. Green down in Kingsland, Georgia, but this particular problem that they are addressing is across the state of Georgia and in this area that we know about. Do you believe that CNN, MSNBC, or some of the other national news media and investigators should come down here and do something in Georgia?
Yes, they do. They need to come. Because see, they lose a child. Don't no man or woman want to experience that. And the way I lost my child, it was unnecessary. My child didn't bother no one. The law does not care. They don't care. Now, whoever look at this video, I have one question that I want to ask anybody who viewed this video. Why is it that as a race of people, we would tell on another individual selling drugs, but we would not say nothing when another individual that's cold-hearted kill one another, and we'll keep our mouth shut. But as soon as we get mad with another individual, we'll go uptown and we'll tell everything about drugs. Why? That's my question to anybody who grew this in.
Okay.
My son is not the only son, don't get me wrong, or the only child that been murdered and the law don't care nothing about it. Now you got good police and you got bad cops, but you got some just don't give a you know what. And Bacon County, they are one place that doesn't care. And District Attorney N, he did not do his job because he didn't care.
District Attorney who?
N.
District Attorney N?
N. He did not do his job because he didn't care.
So it seemed like to me the whole darn circuit is corrupt and messed up. From what I gather, I go to Waycross, I go to Brunswick, I go to Kingsland, Georgia. I go I go all around. And so the cry is the same, is that the judges, the district attorneys, seemingly either biased, racist, un-American, or maybe never studied law in the proper manner to be justice and fair to everybody.
The thing of it is, in my case, I only can say about my case,
Right.
The thing of it is, they did not do their job. And nobody tried to hold them accountable for their job. Nobody tells them, no, y'all didn't do y'all job. Y'all should have found this individual, no poor evil land. Y'all should have seen the blood on the other cars that were there, and y'all seen blood in the car. The car my son was driving, when the police got it, it was blood in it. But there was no one in it. So by then, they know someone hurt. Officer Andre out of Alma, Georgia, he go back to the station, go inside the station, never come back out. I addressed Alma councils about it, nothing was never done. I went to the newspaper 2 or 3 times in Bacon County, they never wrote up nothing. They took my statement, my story, I was willing to pay to get it printed, they wouldn't print it. So I know somebody from up high would put pressure on them not to print it.
And the last time I came over here, I thought they had me convinced because they had their cameras and we all was sitting together, and I have it. And you told me it never came out nowhere, nothing public.
They never printed nothing. They never printed. Everything I told them when you were filming me or recording me and they had their camera, they did never printed nothing. They never printed nothing.
But they made it sound like they was 100%.
Like I said, they had the individual locked up. They gave them all bonds. They dropped charges on all of them. They had one ready to go to trial. Judge Brooke let his family went back there and talked to him, and we supposed to be picking a jury. The judge supposed to be biased in anybody's case. He don't supposed to be on my side or the man's side. He supposed to let it went in front of jury, and whatever the jury decided, I had to live with it. He didn't do that. That's the reason I'm standing here today. My attorney I had filed a lawsuit against Bacon County. He was bought out. I never thought Julius, what his family had went through, would sell me out.
So you don't recommend him as an attorney for anybody that you know?
For nobody.
For nobody.
And other people saying that he sold out.
So people need, you feel that people need to know that Julius, I can't think of his last name.
I let people know the truth.
Absolutely.
That what happened to me.
That's all you verify.
That's all I can verify. I let people know the truth, how he did me, and how the attorney did me, how Bacon County Police Department did me and my son. Now my son Muslim, they don't believe in fighting because they scared. I lost a child. Part of me died when I found my child laying on that ground. He's laid out there and bled to death.
But you say they scared. Now, isn't that typical down south here that black folk are afraid to stand up?
Yeah, it's typical. But when you stand up for the right thing, I'm not saying it's a white-black issue.
Right,
thing.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm saying what the law should have done and they didn't do. And they know they didn't do it. People in the streets will tell you right now, you can go to Bacon County, kill somebody, get away with it. Bacon County done had 3 murders since my son. And now been solved because they got the wrong people in office. They don't care. Now don't misunderstand me. They don't care. But we as black folk, we need to start caring about one another too.
Well, when this first happened to you, to your son, and everything that you have done, I know you contacted me many times. I've been up there many times. But my question is, what do you think about the national news media outlets, the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, and other mainstream news media that will not come to these areas even when they are notified about the judicial system, the local control news media, like some people call them the best news media that money can buy, and when the black community have issues, they can't go to nobody to publish their stories, and the newspaper seems to be in the clique and among the slicks. And so they call me because I come out and I send this information to all the major news media networks, but they don't give a damn. What do you say to that? And I'm telling the truth.
I call you because when nobody else film nothing, when nobody print nothing. But I didn't want to lie. That's the reason I told you to bring your camera when we went to the courthouse.
Right. And we walked through that.
We walked through there, record everything I say, everything I ask for, and how they respond.
Right.
Just like I carried you to the newspaper place.
Right.
The same way.
Yes, sir.
You know, people will lie, but the truth never change. Every video the same that I have gauged.
Right.
My thing of it is this. They said behind closed doors, he just one daddy running his mouth, he'll settle down. Now don't get me wrong, my family should have speaked up. My son, on his mother's side, they should have spoke up. I was one man alone, fighting against some of the powerful people that run these counties. But I done it out of the love of my son.
Okay. And
as a father.
Mr. Overstreet, today, you run a business, am I right?
Yes, I do.
I had 5 to 7 people supposed to be here today. If nobody else show up, you here. But you had to lay your business aside to meet me here at a public building, the Gladys Coley Resource Center here in Douglas. And you're not even from Douglas. But you came because you care. And would you agree with me that as long as black folk live in fear and refuse to speak up, that nothing is going to change? Would you agree with me?
I agree with you 100%. All you got to do is just tell the truth. You lost a child, the authority didn't do their job, that's what they get paid for, taxpayer money. You're supposed to speak up. When you go to the voting poll, you think about that. Because you lost a child and nothing done about it. That's the bottom line. Just tell the truth. And then if a newspaper pick it up and report it, they won't be reporting a lie. They'll be reporting the truth. Now, I fought for my son and still is today. I tell the rest of my children, don't do nothing wrong because I know how the law operates. You got good cops, you got bad cops. You got good judges, you got bad judges. But you got some of them, when you know you're telling the truth, they'll sick somebody on your children because they can't get you. I know how they operate.
Right.
They'll say they don't do it, but they say they don't do it, they tell them slap down lie. My point of view, I feel like my case, my son, murder case, you should bring that individual back on charges. You should, them witnesses that wrote their statement, the judge subpoenaed them and bring them back to court. I feel like the case should be reopened, reinvestigated in a different county. They need to give it to somebody else, a different county. Because I'm not gonna stop him. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep trying. If I have to go by another lawyer, I'm gonna keep trying until I get justice for my son murder.
Okay, and his name is what again now?
His name is Tony Overstreet Jr.
Okay, I told you at the time that there was also Mr. Overstreet, BRYAN Overstreet, that the sheriff deputy ran over in Sylvester, Georgia. And I was called over there as well because just like here, the newspaper would not cover their stories. So I went over there twice to record them. And you say you wasn't related to them as far as you know, right?
As far as I know.
Okay. Now, will you do something for me? And I'm hoping that we can find somebody in this country, Rachel Maddow, Al Sharpton, Lemon, or somebody, Fox News, who would care enough about what you said to contact you And if you lend your phone number here, we'll see if they're gonna call you if they are concerned about mistreated black folk, because I can't understand how we give all this credence to Arbery or to Mr. Green in Kingsland or to George Floyd, but when it comes to your son and these other 5 to 6 people that are supposed to be here today, and they can't get no publicity.
Well,
So if you got a phone number or something to give to the people if you want to.
my number is 912-381-4565. If you care enough, if you feel like that my son was done wrong, give me a call. Remember what I see. The truth never changed. They left my son out there and he bled to death. He wasn't 50 feet from the scene. Police got his car, blood in it, and they left.
That night,
I
what time that night did they leave, and what time did you find them the next day?
They left my son out there about 10 o'clock. I found my son the next morning at 8 o'clock. I couldn't sleep. I looked for him all night. They didn't bring no dogs. They didn't help look or nothing. I went to the police department. Only thing they asked me, what your son into? Turn around and walk back in there and never come back out. I feel like I know that I was unjust. They had the individual in the courtroom ready to go to trial. I begged the judge myself, pick the jury. Judge did. It was jury time. Judge let his family go back to convince him to take his probation violation. What did he violate if you're not charging him with a murder? What did he violate if you're not charging him with my son murder? You charge him with armed robbery? He robbed my son dead. If you dare, you sensitive to the crime, so the law say. In my case, they bent the law. So if anybody out there who cares enough, who in a position to do something about this, give me a call. My story never changed. My son left 5 headed kids. Today I'm doing this video. My son got killed Father's Day weekend. Now my grandchildren have to look at me as a father and have to go to the cemetery to put a flower on their daddy grave. And they never get a chance to see it.
And you have received no justice.
I haven't seen no justice.
So if Attorney Crump called you, you would not ignore him or tell him you scared as hell, would you?
No, I wouldn't tell him I'm scared. If I'm already dead when I found my son. See, a lot of people don't understand that. When you find your child laying there and you don't look for him and he dead, do you know what goes through my mind every day? Do you know how hard it is to hold myself together and people going on with their lives? And I see my son. Do you know how many nights I close my eyes and there goes my son laying on that ground dead? And then I have no justice. I feel and I know the police didn't do their job in Bacon County. The prosecutor didn't do his job. The judge damn sure didn't do his job, and excuse my language.
And his name Brooks.
Brooks, he didn't do his job. The Bacon County newspaper did not do their job. The courthouse did not give me the paper that I asked for when the judge made that unlawful decision.
What about TV stations?
I never got TV station or none of that.
And your son died in a city in the state of Georgia, in the United States of America,
He did.
and you didn't get no publicity.
No publicity. None.
When
None.
you say to Al Sharpton, will you say to Rachel Maddow, would you say to 60 Minutes, 48 Hour, Dateline, and others, Tell them how you appreciated me, the Getto Free Press, coming to record this way back years past. How did you feel about having somebody in the United States that will come?
When I was hurt, and my cousin, he used to work for me, but he got him another job. He gave me your card because he was dealing with Miss Pierce.
Yes, that's right. Olivia Kohler Pierce, commissioner.
He gave me the card.
And let's give a right there. She the one that arranged this bill for me today to be here.
Yes, she did.
Go ahead.
And he gave me the card and I called you. When I called you, you didn't hesitate. You come right on. You didn't charge me not a nickel to come. You asked me where I was gonna be, and what time. That's all you asked me. When you got here, you feel me, you still didn't ask me for one brown penny. You did. Every time you come, you never ask me for $1. I didn't ask you how you pay for this, but you never asked me for nothing. But you came when no one else would. And it'll always be appreciated, whether no one do something about it or not. But I won't stop trying.
Okay, this is long enough now, but I want you to do one other thing for me, because this is something I can't understand. I want you to say, Mr. Al Sharpton, will you assist me? Ask him personally. Ask Al Sharpton. I'm gonna try to get this to him.
Well, I'm asking this, man. Mr. Al Sharpton, I'm asking you to look at this video. And whoever else you have on your council board or whatever. And if y'all look at this video, I'm asking you to either text me or call me and tell me that I have no fighting ground. I need you to do that. From my understanding, you're a powerful man, and you're a law man, and you're a godly man. I'm asking you. You got my phone number? Look at the video. You and whoever. If I have any ground, which I know I do, but if I don't, you tell me that I don't. This man here don't know me, but I called him. He came. He came because he cared about individuals. He didn't come to show off. He come because he cared. He tired of law enforcement, judges mistreat people. Now, we're not saying that it's not no good judges. We're not saying there's no good cops. What we're saying is the truth. The cop that handled my son's case. The cop handled my son's case. Let me make it clear to everybody. Andre and Alma, he's the chief of police right now. He's a black cop. He don't need to be no cop.
Is that right?
But you know why, and I know why he came chief of police after my son death. It's a funny thing, black folks. We'll run to the police station. We'll tell on the next man selling drugs. But when a child get killed, everybody bag in a corner. If you're gonna be a snitch, be a snitch. If you ain't gonna be now, then keep your mouth shut about everything. Y'all run up there, you tell the police about somebody selling drugs, and the police have the person's house around it. But your neighbor get killed, then you go in there and shut the door and don't say nothing. I want you to think about that. If you don't do it, tell your friend to stop doing it.
Okay, Mr. Overstreet, I want to appreciate you, Mr. Tony Sr., and I'm going to get this out to many people as I can. If nobody else show up, you showed up. I called Jeanette in Waycross, Nathaniel Lee III. He was shot down by police. Jack Roberson in Waycross was shot down by police. BRYAN Overstreet in Sylvester, Georgia was shot down by the police. And some others, I can't think of all of them right now. I got them on the tablet in the car, and I'm gonna put them in this video. But if the black folk, if all they want to do, I'm just being honest with you, can talk and call me about having meetings such as this, and then when we have the meeting, they don't show up. And believe it or not, Mr. Overstreet, this is why I've stopped trying to help black folks for the most part, because they don't give a damn.
Well,
and so they will have me used to. I woke up, and they so concerned until the rubber meets the road, and they don't even show up. You see a billy goat, butt his head against a tree.
Well, I love my child. Now, my child didn't bother nobody. Now, I'm not the only one got a child. And I'm not the only one love their child. But I can understand if my child was breaking in houses, stealing people's stuff, or going around bothering people. I got a good kid. I had a good kid. Now I don't have it no more. And the law don't care. So, therefore, I'm gonna speak out. But I'm gonna speak the truth every time. I'm not gonna tell no lie. I'm gonna tell exactly what happened, how it happened, and how they did me. And that's the way it is.
Brother Street, I ain't shaking hands because this thing is bump. And we don't, I got masks in the car, but, and you're very cautious of this thing too, so I know that. But the bottom line, I wanna thank you for having the courage to stand up for your child. A lot of other people talk, and everybody that's supposed to been here today, if they want to go to Atlanta, I'm sure they could have got there. If they want to be here today, they could have got here. So I want to thank you very much, and give your phone number one more time before we quit here.
Again, my phone number is 912-381-4565. Anybody out there who in a position to bring notice to my son's case and try to reopen it and charge the individual that already in jail for murder, and them girls that lied to the law over in Bacon County, they let go and they know they lied because they come back and confess they lied, and the law still let them go. I ask you to give me a call.
Man, I'm sorry, brother, but how you mean they confessed they lied? What you mean by that?
Well, the girls, they picked up some girls that the guys had robbed. My son went to their house and the girls killed them the way across and put them out. The girls say they didn't. Then they come back and say they did.
Who did they say that to?
They said it to the law.
To who?
To the law.
That's in the report.
In Bacon County, it's in report. Bacon County let them out on bond and then bring no charge against them. Far as I'm concerned, the girls are accessory to the crime. If you go rob a store and I'm in the car with you, I rob the store too, compared to the law. If I don't get out of that vehicle when you go in that store. If you rob that store and you come out and get back in that vehicle and I'm in there with you, I'm accessory to the crime. I'm just as much in it as you is, according to the law.
But wasn't nothing like that.
But in my case, my son's case, it was nothing like that. See, the law is the law. And the law says no one above the law. No one. Bacon County did not hold the law up. The prosecutor he did not do his job. The judge abused his power.
Judge Brooks.
He done it. He shouldn't have done that. I went to the courthouse to get the copy of the paper transcript that day. They lied to me.
We got that on video?
We got it on video.
Yes, sir.
I went back and forth to get them papers. They never gave them to me to this day. Now, on a murder case, it's never closed. Statute of limitation never run out. So therefore, I gave my number out. And I asked Ash Sharp to look at this video. I look at all of them. He still got them. He'll send them to you if you need them.
Yes, sir.
They all the same. The truth don't change.
Mr. Tony, let me say this because this is where I operate. When I send this to the National Action Network, and when I send this to Rachel Maddow, and when I send this to HLN, and when I send this to 11 Alive Action News, and when I send this to Atlanta Journal and Constitution, I'm gonna put this video, but I'm also gonna put the other videos that I have. Now, I searched the other night looking for some of the first video we put up, and I can't find them. Look like somebody done took them down. Really, I only see one, but there are more. Now, what I have done in my circle of civil and human rights since 1975, I've learned that anything I post, guess what I do? I keep 3 backups, and I got them filed in 3 states. Because I don't just trust the people in Georgia. They can do some dirty stuff. So I can get those videos, and I'm gonna put them in this email to Al Sharpton. I'm not gonna mail them to him, but if I have to, I'll do that. Now, do you have a complete copy of the police report that somebody could email to me so we can include that too? So people, I mean, I'm just about totality. But if they call you, then they can get that. But I just like to be thorough in what I do.
I got a report. I got a report. And they want to make the thing out of this or out of that. Bottom line, you can't make a murder case out of nothing. He dead. Mm-hmm. If I go rob you and you come up dead, that means I killed you, or I'm sensitive to the crime.
All right, Mr. Tony Overstreet, want to appreciate it like somebody else coming up. But my bottom line is that I want to appreciate you again, my beautiful brother. God bless you. You're going back to work now. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
Appreciate. Mr. Overstreet, you was telling me that as you walk in life and you look around, explain to me what you say you see among your family. Explain that once again to Al Sharpton.
Well, my son got killed. He left 5 little bitty children on. And when they at my house, they can't call their daddy. Their daddy gone. Somebody took him. And they look at me, and I'm the only person they can call daddy, because they ain't got no other daddy. His son, his only son, didn't ever see him. He was born after he was killed. So that's how I walk my life. And then when I closed my eyes at night, I found my son. Police didn't find him, they didn't look for him. Wasn't 50 feet from where they got the car from. When I close my eyes at night, I see my son laying on the ground. Now, I don't know how nobody else feel, but I share their pain if they lost a child.
Okay, Mr. Overstreet, here's what when we were walking away to your truck, you made a statement, and I just want you to say it the way you said it. You said that when you look at your children, your grandchildren, you see all of them, but what do you say? I see what?
I know. When I see all my children and grandchildren, I know I got one missing. Every time I see them, I know one missing.
Peace.